Pam, who's here today with Donna O'Hara from Big Consulting. Thanks for joining me today again, Donna. It's been too long.
Yes, I've waited for so long for us to do it again.
Brilliant, brilliant. So for today, we are going to be talking about why it's important to make short videos. So Donna, I mean, you're the social media guru, and I know you've been doing all of these reels challenges, and you're very strong on YouTube. We did that entire um, YouTube masterclass together, where we had people from all over the world actually attending it. So, specifically, if we're talking about these short videos, how long are they and where could a person use them?
So first, I want to start by saying that like short videos, which I'm going to explain in a second, became very trendy now in social media, and that's actually the new direction of social media. So it all started right with TikTok. The TikTok were doing like short videos of the 15 seconds, like 30 seconds, and at the top 60 seconds. And those are basically the short ones. But even TikTok realized that at one point, it actually better off to do videos up until 8 seconds. So really try not even to get to the 15, try to keep it like very minimum because their retention is actually, going bigger and bigger when you're trying to do a longer one. Again, you need to separate if you're doing tutorials and things like that. But then TikTok started this, and then Instagram decided, okay, I want to do it because this is what get people to stay longer in a platform. Because it's nice when you're watching a video and you're just scrolling and scrolling, right? And you find yourself, how many of you have actually found yourself, I would love to hear in the chat, like that you are spending like sometimes even half an hour, if not more, just by scrolling on TikTok videos, right? So we all
I get
experience it.
addicted. I get addicted to some platforms, so it's a problem. So I have to hide my phone away from myself so that I am not engaging in that way. Meryl says hi, by the way. She says, great to see you,
Hello,
ladies.
Meryl. If you have
Yes.
question, Meryl, feel free to ask, please. So
Because
it's part of this, yeah.
originally, how long were the TikTok videos?
So TikTok were around 60 seconds, okay? So it really started
Oh,
short, 15
2 minutes.
seconds.
Yeah.
It's not even 2 minutes. After a while, so what happened is that Instagram brought Reels, that Instagram were allowing only in the beginning, the 15 and 30 seconds. At a certain stage, TikTok allowed herself to put 3 minutes option, which is not going so well, but some people are using it. Then Instagram added the minute option, and then YouTube joined the thing. Like YouTube actually brought the YouTube
Short,
Shorts,
eh?
which is
Mm.
15 seconds and 60 seconds. And Pinterest also brought that option. So Pinterest had the pin idea from the past, which was a bit of a story. Now they've changed that story into like a Reels TikTok feature that you can actually, edit the video from there. It's up to 60 seconds. You can use that. You add like songs, duration of the text, and everything around it. So now basically you have at the moment I spoke on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. Those are four platforms that are using short videos, and now Facebook joined the game. So Facebook is now launched Reels in the US, which very soon is going to come to other countries. And that's why I think this is a trend of social media. This is the new direction of social media. And that's something we need to start adopting and fast because it's already becoming not that easy.
So I wanted to ask you, you've been doing these Reels challenges and you must have seen some of the data because you're very strong on the science of social media and analyzing things. What have you seen has been working? Are people actually getting more views on Reels versus other things? Or like what what are you noticing from the challenges and the people that have participated with you?
So I think, like, look, if you want to succeed in TikTok, you need to be consistent, okay? In order for you to go a bit more viral and go over the like let's say the 50, 100 and some views, you really need to work there and actually be consistent and at least like try to upload like once a day, if not twice a day, and sometimes even more, right? But it needs to be very short and easy. And the nice thing that what I look even at myself is that I can use the same video. I'll use it in all the different platforms to see which one actually brings me the best result. And the nice thing that each and every one of them picking up on different levels. Because in Instagram, for example, the timing is super crucial. Okay. You need to post your reels in the right timing. But the thing is that your timing is also changing, In the past, like my timing was around 12 o'clock, like 12 p.m. Then it
Mm.
moved to 5 p.m. Now it looks like it moves to around 3 p.m. So I'm still learning the new timing. And that got an impact on when people are active. And there are different techniques and ways also to know when it's active, but it's also like a lot of trialing. So one of the things I do teach in the challenge is that when you create a video, first of all, save it. Save it before you adding the caption, save it after you adding the question. So just in case something happens and you want to either use it in other platforms or you want to test the timing, you have it and you don't get it with the Instagram watermark. So that's one of the things. But like on Pinterest, for example, timing is not so crucial. Okay, YouTube as well. YouTube, it's like you only need to pick up and everything. And I would recommend for people to also check their analytics. If I check my analytics today, I'll see that most of my views are coming for YouTube search, Google search, and YouTube Shorts. Okay, so there's some videos that will move very slow, and some videos that will peak. That like they're running and they're running, and that you can get hundreds of views and maybe thousands of views. It's easier sometimes to get the views on Instagram Reels because if you do it in certain time, and especially if it's the first time you're doing it, the first time usually Instagram will push you. It'll give you, come enjoy it. I'll take your first video, kind of become viral. But after that, you need to prove yourself, right? You need to demonstrate like that it's not only people that are watching, people are actually engaging with you in any type of way, which that's something that's also very important when you use those short videos.
So, what is interesting, what you were saying is you were saying that it's important to save the video because what I want to say, where you can use videos again, is if you've actually scripted a video, and that's where my side comes in. Donna and I are like very compatible. She speaks about, you can hear the science, the data. She comes with, you have a master's in marketing, right?
Yes.
So she comes from a very scientific background. She's not just the energetic energy bunny. She's very smart and intelligent in her marketing approaches. Well, what I say is, if you develop a strong message, you can make quite a few videos and actually cut it. And actually, just cut little sections out of it, whether it's then for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. But if you can script something really well and actually just get it right the very first time. It's much easier to use a video that's correct than you have to go and edit it. So this past weekend, I was at a professional speakers convention, Donna. It's the Professional Speakers Association of Southern Africa. And one of the speakers said, Etienne de Vol, he's the PSA president from the Netherlands. He said, if you want to make really good content, so whether it's for podcast, video, or whatever, make sure that you plan it and rehearse it really well because you can cater for at least 10 times the amount of time for editing, correcting something than actually just getting it right the first time. So if you can make sure that your content is well rehearsed, that you actually script it out. So I have some ideas for you. Put your ideas down on a post-it and put it against the wall so that you just put it behind where your camera is so that like right now I can actually look into the lens and it doesn't look like I'm looking at notes that's over there. While if I'm looking at my second screen, you can see my eyes are going over there and you'll feel disconnected versus looking into the camera. So it's very important because what we tend to do, even right now I'm struggling because I want to look at Donna's smile, but I need to actually look into the lens. So that is one of the things that we spoke a lot about on camera technique in our YouTube masterclass. Are there things from there that you think that will help people still today? So now for the YouTube shorts, like what type of topics were we doing in there that you can remember that you think people would really benefit from buying that option?
So first, like I want to say that I think, and this is something you can actually share more tips around, that the most important thing is that when you do those short videos, you really need to start overcoming your fears and put yourself out there, which I know it's the difficult part. Yes, there are other solutions. You can design different things in Canva, in other apps as a start. But at one point, if you actually want to get results, and if you want to see not just results by getting the numbers of the views, by actually building your brand and converting followers to actual clients, you need to start building a relationship. And for that, you really need to put yourself in front of the camera. So I just want to say, and then I think you can give maybe some tips on how you can feel comfortable with the camera. But TikTok and Instagram, all this, it's not about just dancing in front of the camera or just doing lip sync and stuff like this. You can find a different way to do stuff. Eventually, you need to find your own unique voice of what's right for you and put it there. For some, it will be to goof around. For some, it's just to speak. For some, it's just to demonstrate some stuff. But you really need to learn how to put yourself. And I would love for you to share with us some tips about how you can actually feel more comfortable in front of the camera, because that's what I see that a lot of people are struggling, and that's why they're avoiding doing like reels, for example, on Instagram.
So it's funny that you say that. Last week, I was doing a course on women in leadership for ladies in Dubai, Pakistan, and Egypt. And do you know that only 2 of the 12 ladies on day one turned on their cameras? And then on day two, I kind of forced them where I was like, we're doing negotiation skills. If you want to be powerful, participate, you need to turn on your camera. And then suddenly, I don't know if they warmed up to me or what, but everyone turned on their cameras. But then we could actually work on their frame. So one of the things that you want to be aware of is right now you can say, see, there's a frame behind me and Donna. So if you're making a video, whether it's Donna, can you just hold up your phone to show them if you're taking Instagram, which way should the camera be? Or versus YouTube, which way should it be? So can you guys see if it's YouTube, it needs to be landscape. And if it's Instagram, it actually needs to be portrait. So the size of the angle is really, really important when you're taking it. So my tip to you, if you want to be powerful on camera, is imagine you're speaking to your ideal clients. What would they want to hear? If you're selling a specific product, would they want you to actually walk through the product, actually do a bit of a demo or show behind the scenes, or actually do a demonstration, whether it's food things that you're making, it's a blender, it's a smoothie, you're actually showing them this is how you make this smoothie, and you're throwing in the berries and the various the yogurts, the bananas, and they can actually see it's not just a box, they're actually seeing you practically using it. Or if it's a clothing brand, maybe you could actually like model different outfits. But what you want to do specifically if you're in the service industry is people need to understand what will the outcomes be. People don't buy the service that you have. So if you had to buy our YouTube masterclass, for instance, you don't care about that, but what you care about is the outcome that you want. You want your clients to be warmed up to you. You want your clients to feel, wow, we feel like that we really trust you. We would want to do business with you. That is what social media and a YouTube channel and videos does for you. So, what you want to do is write down for yourself, what do you want the audience to think about? How do you want them to feel? And what do you want them to do? And what you do in that regard is you're actually removing yourself from the equation, and you're saying, it's not about me. It's not about, oh, I'm making this like selfie video, I'm so hot, or whatever it might be. It's all about client centric. What is the outcome for the clients? How can we help the clients? How can we show them a specific need for their business? And how can we show them that we are the vehicle to help get them there? So people are never going to necessarily just be searching for your services. Sometimes they are, but ultimately they're actually going to type in on Google or anywhere what their problem is. And that's why when you actually create videos and you remove yourself from the equation and you focus on what is the problem that we're solving, what is their dream or desire, that's where you move them forward. So ultimately, be aware of the frame. In our masterclass, we spoke about lighting, spoke about structures for your videos. Donna went into the total how to, how to set up the channel, how to get the ideal target audience. So I've really seen people being blown away just by the high level, because it was 2 hours in total of content.
Yes, 2.5
And
hours,
guys,
yeah.
it's still available, so we'll post the link for you in a moment. But if you want to get comfortable on camera, decide what is your message. What do you want the audience to think, feel, or do? What are the pain points? Focus on that. Don't focus on you. They don't care about you. They care about what is the problem that they want to resolve.
So I'll
So
take it
that's
from a
just a
different
few tips.
direction.
Mm.
Yes, I'll take it from. I'll add to this, and I'll maybe change it a bit. Like, but when you look at actually start, and that's something that I'm teaching when you first start. That real challenge is that you first need to know who's your niche, right? To be very clear, who's your niche, and really niche down, and don't be afraid to niche them down. From there, you decide, because you know who's your niche, you know exactly who they are. You're going to know where they're more active, how to engage with them. Because as you were saying now, you're going to know what are the challenges, what are the pain points, what are the struggles. Once you know all of that, you can actually start working on your content strategy. And that part of the content strategy will help you eventually to build relationship with them, because people buy from people, and people buy from people that have a connection and they trust. And the reason why some of you are still watching this, because there is something in our vibe, the way we speak, what we're saying, all of this, resonate with you and you feel comfortable. So it's kind of a mix of things. And people don't really care about what you're wearing, or if I didn't do my hair yet, or I didn't do my eyebrow. No one actually fully checking all of this stuff. People just want to understand what you got to offer. If you're going to create an emotional connection in your videos, and it can be any type of an emotional connection, okay? You can make me laugh, you can make me angry, you can make me scared, you can make me feel blessed, whatever type of emotion, okay? And that's something I also spoke in the masterclass, that people are first feel something, then they go by, and then they think about the outcome. So if I'm gonna make you feel like that, like how much you really need to learn about those social media, like YouTube Shorts, Reels, TikTok, all this, because you really need it for your business. And I'll touch it from the emotional side of it, right? And I'll speak about the struggles. Then you will think like, okay, I actually think I need it now, because I cannot do by myself. Something is not working. Something is holding me back. And that's the thing. Like if you look, by the way, at my Instagram Reels, it's got a way, like a certain direction that I'm going with. But if you're gonna watch my TikTok, in TikTok I'm going more with the different trends that there are, and then I come creative and I'm thinking, okay, how can I use this? Sorry for not offending no one, that stupid trend, but making my own and touch my topic, and not to speak about my love life and everything. So it sometimes take that part, to also think outside. But I really recommend for you to think about, first of all, think about your followers, okay? Who they are, and listen to them. Listen and work on engaging with them. The second part, listen to yourself as well. Listen, learn about yourself. Hello, Ellen. And learn about yourself, and learn how you can find your own unique voice. And then you mix the two of them. You find a way to merge them. You don't want to be doing things just because your audience want them, but you don't. And you don't want, to do stuff that just you want, but it's not relevant to them. So listen and see how you can make the fine tuning that you need to make sure that you're combining them. And that's the difference. That's how you can actually succeed on Reels, TikToks, Pinterest, and all that. I'm just by posting some of my TikTok and Reels, the one that actually I give value, not the different stupid trends that I do sometimes just for TikTok. I have more than like 15, 20,000 people that are coming on a on a monthly basis to my page to visit my profile. That's a bigger amount of opportunities. The same as if you do it on YouTube, and that's the nice thing. Um, I will say, Samuel, if I'm saying you're pronouncing it right, followers are important. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Exactly, followers are important, but it's not the amount. Okay, so I always say quality will bring the quantity. So don't chase after the quantity. And I know we all want to go viral sometimes, and we all want to do our reels. And how many of us are actually sharing and then refreshing and refreshing and want to see how it jumps and it jumps and then getting the views. And sometimes it's not. It gets stuck. But at the end, you need to look about how you actually building relationship there.
I
How
want
you
to I want to just elaborate on two things, Donna, that you were saying. So, the first thing was you were talking about you need to make people feel something, because only if they feel something will they do something. So,
exactly.
I'm slightly obsessed with neuroscience, the buying brain, and I studied NLP. And in one of the books that I read on brain power by John Medina, he says exactly that. He says the moment you tell a story and the moment you make people feel something and you make them move through different emotions, what happens in the brain is it actually releases dopamine, which means that creates stickability. So it enhances people's memory. So what I started doing when I learned this, I would be training people and I would get irritated and I'd say, "Oh my goodness, I'm training, 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 and they just forget everything that I'll say. So I started telling stories that would take them on an emotional journey. And a year later, people would come back and retell the story to me because it's stuck in their memory. A stupid story of me falling in church, losing my shoe, flashing the entire church, and like the lessons learned out of that actually has stuck in people's minds even for 5 years. So,
But why do
can
you think?
you, hey?
Sorry, sorry for a second, but that's why I don't know if some of you have heard about what happened with Facebook, right? In the TV series thing, like the documentary one, 60 seconds. 60 minutes, sorry, 60 minutes. So one of the previous employees, that's what exactly she was sharing about Facebook's strategy. Their strategy was exactly this. They realized that people are commenting more when it's about racism, about hate, about like
Mm,
mean stuff, because it get them be angry and they want to. So they were actually, instead of like helping, they were supporting more like, like old
terrorism.
news and
Yeah,
terrorism and racism and all this,
it's
because people get
terrible.
angry and then people want to react, they want to speak out. That's why I always recommend ask questions, engage, start a discussion. People are actually sometimes thirsty to just speak out and put it there. And that's part of the emotion, the dopamine that you're talking about. Because if I'm gonna make you laugh, how many of you are actually watching a TV series and crying? How many of you are watching TV series and they're actors, right? And you get so excited when they're finally kissing after so many episodes, right? I found myself watching a Brazilian
Friends,
telenovela, and I was
friends.
like, finally! I'm like so excited, like I was watching like a soccer game, like or a basketball game. I was so excited. How many of us it happens to us? Because we want to feel, we want that part that we're like, oh, we have something, we're alive. That makes us alive. And that's what you want to do. That's why TikTok actually works. Because it's like, I'm sorry that I call it the stupid things, but it's more about like fun and light. And yes, people share their different content and stuff. And for each one, you guys are more than welcome to write what your business is about. And then we'll give you some examples. But like I'll do different trend. There was one trend that you're taking 2 glasses of water, and then you just pouring the water, but instead of going this direction, it's going this direction. And that was just showing how you waste time on the wrong things when you actually supposed to be doing another one. Everyone could use it for their business, and it's a nice trend that you can use. So eventually you need to find your own ways and to make people like think like, but it's a thing that comes first from a feeling that you're like watching, okay, what's the purpose here, where is it going, like you're trying to understand. Or like if I'll do something funny and I'll dance. I was dancing a lot and was dancing in some of my stuff, but I was always wearing in winter short sleeves. And then everyone will react around this, like, wow, look at you with your energy and the shorter, like you're in constant summer. People are actually, that's what get them to engage with you. And that's what you're trying to do. Eventually, you want to improve engagement. If you improve engagement, you're helping with the algorithm. Okay? You're
So
helping with the algorithm.
let's ask some questions. Please post if you guys are struggling with anything related to your videos and specifically YouTube, these shorts. Like, what are you not finding easy? What are you not finding easy in terms of sharing your stories? We would love to know. What have you tried out? So, Helen is saying, great advice. We're getting a lot of love for stories. Donna, I wanted to just refer back to something you also said earlier on. You said everything is also not just about the stats. Sometimes you also need to care about the quality. So
Yeah.
I've been part of an international facilitation mastermind, and one of the ladies from Australia, she's very strong on her podcast, but then she also just posts the video from the podcast on YouTube as a separate thing, and she's managed to actually get a lot of views on those videos, which is interesting because sometimes people tend to think people will rather want to listen than watch. There's like almost like a different demographic. But what she's also very successfully done is then grab short little snippets and these short videos out of that edited video and then post that on her channels to get people to either go listen to the full podcast or go watch the full video. Have you seen that like cross-referencing videos in that way is also a good strategy to have?
It's in everything. Even like when I'll post something like on Instagram that I will tell people I have a new video. coming up on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. I have like a teaser of my podcast, and I'll just put the voiceover and I'll refer it. So that's the nice thing. You do want to use that. We call it like the followers funnel, right? You want to move them from one place to another. That's why I always say, like, even if you look at the way I do on my social media, like there's certain stuff of mine that you will find only on Instagram, and there's certain stuff you're going to find only on TikTok. But there's stuff that will be equivalent, like that I will share both in both ways. But I will try to make it that it's very, nice to like that. I want people to follow me in different places and not to feel like, oh, but it's the same stuff. So why do I need to follow her? So you find your own unique voice in each and every one of them, and you do duplicate some of the stuff, and you can use some of the stuff for a teaser, to bring the traffic. Um, and Ellen, you were saying, is that solid, like about she's asking you, I think probably it's a
I'm
name.
not sure. I'm not sure. Meryl was asking a question. Do you use specific video software systems or do you record mostly live social media videos? So, Meryl, I'll answer from my side, and Donna, the social media guru, will go into hers. For me, there's two different strategies. You can either script it and actually make the videos specifically that you're going to be using, and then you could cut it into smaller pieces, while these lives are a little bit longer. So if you do something live, if it's not scripted, you're not going to be able to get a short out of it. In general, what people do is they'll have more conversations, interview style related things, are almost like doing a presentation when they're doing a live or doing a topic. But it might range from 10 minutes to we almost at 30 minutes. We almost have to say goodbye and hop on Instagram. Hey Donna. So how do you want to wrap up the last question before we go over to Insta? You guys are welcome to join us there to continue this, by the way.
I'll add a
On
few
Big
stuff.
Consulting, yeah.
Yes, so I'll add a few stuff. So first, like one of the stuff that I do, so Reels, I most of the time edit from Reels as well from TikTok. It's really depend. You can also use InShot, for example, to do the editing and stuff like this. When I record to my YouTube, but not the YouTube Shorts, I do. By the way, I prefer to even record most of my stuff sometimes from Instagram and save it there and maybe use it because I like sometimes some of the filters and things like that. But you need to bear in mind you cannot take from Instagram different sounds, right? Because of like the rights.
Copyright and that, yeah.
You cannot do it. So it will if you save it with Instagram trademark, that's the only way you can also get that music. But also like when I do for my YouTube, like if I do it like a regular, I will record for my laptop. But because I have Mac, I can record it in here. I can do the podcast here, and I can edit it here with iMovie. But eventually, you want to make your life easier. Not every Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts needs to be a big investment in time and editing and everything. Like I myself created content in two different languages. There's also limits to how much time and power and effort I have got for this thing to do. So I'm always trying to save time wherever I can. So yes, so I'll try to record certain stuff and very easy. My recommendation, that's something that I did share in the masterclass, that what I do, for example, I'll set up a day and then I'll record all my YouTube videos in one day. I know you start doing it as a yoga. And that's the thing, like, so you can do it as well for your reels and everything. For me, I found it that I'm very spontaneous. So it's either for me just to, I scroll and I see a nice trend on TikTok, then I'll quickly record it and make it. And that's it. That's how I get it faster. And I bought the ring. So it's also making my life easier because it's just next to me and that's how I use it. So really trying to find what's working for you. If we're going to sum it all up, this is the direction of social media, okay? Those short videos of the 15 seconds. A minute, it's even considered to be long, okay? I'll use the minute if I want to demonstrate, like I demonstrated yesterday, how you can actually post today on Instagram from your computer. So that took me a 30-second video because I am demonstrating and showing you the different steps to do. So for that, that's okay. But only if you have your crowd, your audience, that it's really tight with you and want to watch it. That's the same recommendation for any type of video. Then you can make it a bit longer. But if it's not, you don't really need to. And I see, Maureen, here you have a question like, what is the basic video equipment you need to for YouTube? You can
I
actually
think we're
use
gonna have
a
to
laptop.
take that to Instagram. I think we're gonna have to take that question to Instagram because we need to hop on there. So thanks so much, everyone. Our next live is gonna start now. Grab our YouTube masterclass. It's going at 345 for 2 hours with incredible content. You can get on a private Facebook group where you can ask any questions, send us videos to crit as well. You're welcome to hop over. Just give them your channel, Donna, where we're going to be on Insta now.
It's big consulting. So just find it there. Maybe, well, I cannot put here in the chat.
Maybe just put it in the chat.
So you can put it in the chat while I'm going to start. But like, and again, by the way, buy the equipment today. You only need a phone or your laptop, and that's it. The ring is not a must. You can use a natural light that come in front of your face, and that's it. Don't buy over equipment for nothing. You really don't need it today with the new phones. It's super easy, super nice, and that's it.
So there is Big Consulting Instagram where you guys can go. And Helen says, buy the course. She was on the live course, and you'll see her doing amazing things. And this video will be available on my YouTube afterwards. So if you guys want to buy the course, there are the details again. We'd love
And
to
also
hear
in
more
my
from
bio
you.
link, there is a link there, and also for my Reels challenge and everything. And we'll see you just now on Instagram. So yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. Please join us there. Any more questions, take it to the other side. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye bye.